Hello everyone and welcome back to This is the Police. We are on day 63 and we need to find some clues in here somewhere. Presumably this thing right here. City Hall, WW, not to W, Mafia, WWW Police Station. Never look a grift horse in the mouth. Never look a grift horse? Is that one word or two words? I don't know, but that looks fine. We should be seeing something in the papers, something about a horse. Anything here about a horse? No, I don't think so. We can go to work then. We'll start off our supercar before we do though. Nava's father has beaten his mum and it's not good, pretty bad actually. It looks like, can you go to them? Yeah, but you're going to have to come in tomorrow. I think I forgot to feed my fish back at the house. No, Wolf, you can't. I mean, you got a name like Wolf. You're supposed to be like cool and stuff. You're supposed to be like out. Okay, oh, Jesus, I can't come in today. I've had too much sex with all the attractive ladies or men. Let's not be judgmental here. That kind of stuff is perfectly acceptable as long as you're into it and everything's consensual and legal. Otherwise, out here, my band is playing a charity concert. No, you can't. I'm sorry, but you're a police officer and we need you on the beat today. Let's go to the map immediately and see what we have ready for us out here. Any pop-ups, any sort of terrifying things. Inspection penalty turned up multiple violations which undoubtedly will contribute upon the efficiency. The penalty for these violations will be 25% of my bank account. If you require further clarification or wish to appeal this decision, please send a formal request to the mayor. You will receive an answer within 200 business days. Bastards! Bastards! Well, that just means we'll have to cheat even more. So can we even complain? I don't think we can. That's just not something we can do. That was just there to inform us of the thing. Let's have a look at our investigations, though, and see if there's anything here. Homicide, let's see. No, okay, that's a wrong one. Let's go in here. That one is not happening today. What about this one here, detectives? What do we have there? They're both working. Let's close it down and then have a look at the actual research out here. Hit and run. But I don't think we actually have enough today. So that may be uncovered later today. If all is well, unless we can point this down. Well, no, we can't, because none of that really works either. We'll close that down then, and have a look at drug possession here for detectives. Are they working? No, they're not. So close it down, and have a look here. Drug possession details. What more here? You got the chap and chibbity chap. Yeah, we'll let them carry on tomorrow. Double homicide, that's no good. Are they working? No, they're not. So basically, investigations is ready to go today. So what do we have here? We have a disorderly conduct at the business centre. A bus driver just called in reporting that a group of teenagers were running down the street, throwing stones at the shop windows. The man told them to stop before... Words got a bit difficult, so I'll try one more time. But for his trouble, he was struck in the head by a rock. Well, let's get Gilbert and Bill Bailey. Off you go. The disorderly call is more serious than initially thought. They are requesting additional officers, so let's get Guerin and Best on the case. And we have a theft in the suburbs. Some items went missing at the home of Veronica Long. Items worth over 10... Whoa, right. I am beginning to get quite a few issues with the way they wrote this, because quite clearly they've lost over $10,000 given what it's showing there. And again, out here, why is the 10 written in numbers, but the 1,000 is written in letters? What? Anyway, a friend and I were sitting together in the evening, drinking wine on a lark. And on a lark, Clara said we should try on more jewels. We had fun putting on rings and necklaces, trying different things together, and then we set everything back in the box. My friend went home and I decided to look at my jewellery one more time. That's when I noticed 4 rings were missing. I was literally wearing them an hour ago. They're very expensive and they have been in my family for generations. Well, let's get Jane Austen and Goodwin on the case. They can deal with that. They are, you know, police people. And now the disorderly conduct finished out here. They caught the offender. Officers unharmed. Civilians apparently not unharmed. Well, somebody got a brick in the face, didn't they? So that would explain why there were people injured. Jane Austen and Goodwin arrived by the theft in the suburbs, and we now get a little message here that the police have arrived at Clara Long's residence. Her husband opened the door, she shot a look at the police and ran away down the hall, but soon returned and sat on the sofa. Ask for tea. Ooh, that's a bit, you know. Order the woman to immediately bring out the stolen items. Discuss yesterday's football game with her husband. Well, let's try and ask for tea. We can all sit down and have a nice cup of tea, and we'll sort this all out, which we did do. Proceed. Well, let's take this to the police station. We didn't have much luck with the other thing. Oh, now we have a suicide thread. At Sophocles Theatre of Drama, a theatre director called in reporting that one of the young dancers had locked herself in her dressing room and wouldn't respond to knocks at the door. I don't have the strength to break down a door, and I'm afraid the girl might have done something to herself. She was very upset to learn that she won't be among the principal cast in the upcoming premiere. Well, let's get Bill Bailey and Guerin on the case. They can go off and have a bit of a chat down at the theatre. The Mafia is checking in. They have something going down at the Sardius jewellery store at 1900 hours. We wouldn't want any policemen crashing the party. Well, we can send the policewoman. That will be fine. You think 1,000 will be enough? Inspection, it's over. The inspectors are leaving the police station. Oh, did I do something I wasn't supposed to do during the inspection? That might be the issue. I've been recording this over a longer period of time, so I forgot all about that. We now have smuggling at the port. What's this? Port officers opened a container and instead of cement, as specified in the document, why would you carry cement in a container? That doesn't even make any sense. You wouldn't carry that in a container. It would... solidify, I think is a word. I don't know. They found boxes of very rare and expensive alcohol soon after an SUV approached the place and 3 armed men got out. Screams and gunshots were heard. Well, that's just about everyone, isn't it? We'll get all the inexperienced ones on it. Although that's pretty much everyone anyway, isn't it? Well, let's keep Coachy out of it. Down there, that seems like quite a major thing. What about this out here? Officers broke down the door and the dancer had simply fallen asleep. Disappointed. Oh, you had an understanding, but making me think otherwise. Remember, we don't treat our enemy with kid gloves. Don't make this mistake again. But we were in the group. We saw the 3 thumbs up, and they were green as well. So we're good with them. It's only the police we have to worry about. Or rather, the mayor's office. Our officers arrived at the port and they are actually requesting more assistance down there. So I'll assign everyone, and I do mean literally everyone. We now no longer have any officers available to deal, other than the ones coming back at some point maybe, or maybe they just already came home. Maybe they did. I don't know, but let's say here 2 officers are requested at the Sardius jewellery. Wait, hang on, that's the one you asked me to deal with. So why was Christopher Sand upset about us when we haven't even responded to this call yet? Well, if any officers do get back in time, I will send them down there. I mean, you should be lucky they're down there by the port. Quite clearly, something's wrong here, because if I remember correctly, we had the situation down there. Okay, so everything checked out fine, but we did get lots of loot. Well, let's ask the Mafia to sell it. So, yeah, whatever. I don't have anyone available, so I can't assign anyone. I mean, you don't have to pay me. I just literally didn't have any officers available. But we'll wait here. We'll get officers out to the armed robbery at the boutique. Down here, an obese woman wearing a bunny mask entered a boutique and told the saleswoman that put all the money in the register into a sports bag. When the clerk laughed, understandably so I might add, the woman wearing the mask pulled out a gun and fired it into the air. Another customer at the store whispered from the dressing room, besides the money, she also wanted a restaurant size XL. That's pushing your luck there, chap, but let's get SWAT just because we know there's shooty gun bangs involved. And let's get those 3 along with Jane Austen and Austin Powers. Off they go. They can deal with it. All sorted, squared away, and happy bunnies. We also have 3 updates here. Debrido found nothing there. The hit and run, nothing. Double homicide. Ooh, 3 new stuff at the homicide. Yeah, we have nothing here to actually build a case on yet, so we'll leave that for now. It's the end of day 63 and an officer's dealt with the robbery at the boutique. We have our officers here. Do we want anyone to stay in tomorrow? Well, we can get Guerin and presumably also... No, they're all quite low. And what about Carr here? Well, apparently the Mafia is displeased about me despite the fact that I did everything I was supposed to do. City Hall is on the same level as before. 2 duppies and 1 dumpy. And the Mafia now 2 duppies and 1 dumpy. Police station, they just don't know. A watched pot never boils. Well, I don't know about that, mate. I mean, that's not really... Am I supposed to get anything here? So what about these headliners? Freebet hockey team on strike, 3 months no pay. Christ icon disappeared. No, discovered in foundation of Buddhist temple. Garbage collection fee increases 25%. Well, that's really not any useful at all.
What's this, Martin? Think that'll cover breakfast?
Good Lord, Jack. You should knock.
Don't worry, Martin. I don't care what kind of business you're up to. Although on second thought, scratch that. I'm very interested in your business. In fact, that's why I'm here. You have a lot of connections?
Depends on what you need.
I want to keep my job. I've got another 5 years in me at least. I want to prove my dismissal is illegal. You know someone who can help?
Jack, are you sure you want to get involved in this fight?
Martin, let's not,
Got yourself a new toy?
Oh, you noticed, Martin. Just like a teenager, always on the move. Yeah.
Hello. Is this Mr. Boyd?
Last I checked, who's this? And where did you get my personal number?
When you work at the prosecutor's office, it's not too hard to find someone's phone number.
The prosecutor's office? Just a second. Martin, out. I need to take this.
But Jack, it's my office. Okay, I understand. I'll go grab an ice cream. As for your little problem, Jack, I think we can work something out. Give me a couple of weeks.
Weeks?
Jack, what you're asking is...
Yeah, okay, I get it. Now get out already. I'm sorry, what'd you say your name was?
My name is Lana Berman. I'm the deputy prosecutor of Freeburg. Well, one of the deputies. Not even the first deputy, to tell you the truth.
How can I help you, Miss Berman?
I don't know how to say this, Mr. Boyd. You see, Mr. Boyd, I'm in line to be the next prosecutor of Freeburg, and apparently that's happening quite soon.
Soon? Shia Broom was just re-elected for a new term.
Yes, but she'll be resigning in February. She's suffering from a heart condition, so she's chosen a replacement to carry out her term, and she chose me. You have no idea of the scandal, Mr. Boyd. I've only been at the prosecutor's office for half a year, and she chose me. It's incredible.
That really is unbelievable, Miss Berman. But what's it got to do with me?
Well, I understand how this call would seem strange to you, Mr. Boyd, but Mrs. Broom said she said that you have a lot going on, but you're the most honest official in the city. And if I really want to change the city for the better, and I swear that's what I want, then I should meet you.
I'm afraid Mrs. Broom was exaggerating.
Oh, believe me, Mr. Boyd, Mrs. Broom is not one to exaggerate. I'm sorry, Mr. Boyd, I need to run. Do you mind if I call you later?
Do I mind? Let me think. No, I don't mind, Miss Berman.
Thank you, Mr. Boyd.
Place your bets now whether or not that's a new love interest in this story. I'm betting my money on the fact that it is. I don't know why Yelmer Bertman is in the game, but apparently he is. Robin didn't come into work today, and your father's funeral is... Jesus Christ, Nava. I mean, I'm going to fire you at some point because you're just not even slightly working hard, are you? Yesterday he beat up your mother. Now he's getting buried. No, I'm not letting you go that. That's just absolute horseshit, isn't it? So what about Stripes here? So we got Grant now. Who do we want to give it to? Nah, I don't really see any need. Well, we need some investigators boosted up, but they're all on A shift, aren't they? Oh, I suppose not down here we got a little Siegler down here, the fire vehicle manufacturer from Germany. We can go ahead and slip her on and start the day proper. So here we are, we can now go out and we can request many other things down here by City Hall. Job officer slots, job slot detectives, and a raise for myself. Now the very good thing is that I have no budgets to manage, so all of that is fine, although I suppose that's done behind the scenes. We now have a fight at the city centre. Noise from a garbage truck woke up a vagabond who was sleeping on a nearby bench. The homeless man became angry and went to scold the truck's driver. A fight soon erupted. We can get David Mitchell and Khan on the case. They can deal with that. They're two butch coppers, aren't they? But now we have a theft at the Desire Park. Jose Moore reported a run-in with a pickpocket at a park. His wallet was stolen along with some documents and an expensive watch. I'm sure it's in that red-haired brat. He was rubbing all over me. Well, you didn't seem to mind it at the time. Let's go in here. Yeah, those two, Asano and George Best, can go ahead and deal with the call. The vagabond surprisingly ran away after he assaulted the bin lorry driver, but our other officers at the theft has arrived on scene and they found that a man sitting quietly on the bench is a red-haired guy who fits the description. But in the distance there's a woman struggling with a young man in a hood, shouting and clutching her bag. So rush to the woman and the guy in the hoodie, keep an eye open for other suspects, or rush to the red-haired guy on the bench. Well, okay, let's take a moment to just take in the scene. The guy in the hoodie notices the police and tries to escape. He stumbles and several wallets and pieces of jewellery come tumbling from his pockets. Shoot the fleeing man with a taser. I mean, I'm liking this way to think. Walk over the bench and hit the red-haired guy in the face. I'm sorry, is it police officer Jeremy Clarkson working the case? I don't think it is. Try to chase the fleeing man down. Well, let's go for the taser. Always go for the taser. Always. It's fun. Taser, they go and then they fall over and then they crap themselves. And it worked here as well, mind. And now we have fraud in the residential area. Hello, I was contacted by a lawyer named Donald Horton Jr., who told me that some wonderful news. It turns out that I'm a distant relative of a Nigerian prince who recently died. And he left me 15 billion... Oh, they've done it right here. Well, I suppose, no, they haven't actually. They've done exactly the same fucking thing. Oh, and another one. Oh. In Go Bouillons. What kind of a soup are you making where you need a bouillon? I suppose not a soup. Yeah, a sauce. Yeah. Soup or sauce? Maybe both. Anyway, I don't see how you use a bouillon made of gold for that to open an account to receive the money, but I noticed that the lawyer carries a pistol, so I decided to play it safe and called in a police escort to make sure everything goes smoothly. Well, lawyers that are packing heat is not really my cup of tea. Let's get Samadhi and Guer in. They need to see some action. We now have a call for service at a bus stop, presumably in a more rural part of town, regarding a public indecency call. Phyllis Emery is clearly beside herself. This jerk took out his crooked dick. I'm sorry, is this Donald Trump? Took out his crooked dick in the middle of a crowded bus and started to poke me with it. God, it was so disgusting I screamed and several of the men on the bus grabbed the pervert and wrestled him to the ground. It was unbelievable. I mean, you're not going to believe it. We're going to make this better with everything, right? Anyway, let's get Asano and Hugh Grant to deal with this call. We can only assign 2 officers so they can go and deal with it. Well, this is not good. We just lost 2 officers. Civilians were thankfully unharmed. But, you know, our officers died and the offender escaped, which means that we now need to go to more funerals. That's terribly sad. And now City Hall is calling in that they have a wall repainted by some hooligans. If the police can't do their job in a timely manner and send these criminals to prison, then they can spend their shift cleaning off the wall. Well, okay, hang on. I want to get my raise in that. We can get Khan. Do we have anyone that's trying to skive off? No, we don't. So we'll get those out here, send them, and that's pretty much all we can do. So what about the public indecency? Offender was called, officers unharmed. Oh, we just had 2 calls pop up at the same time. A theft from the parking lot is the first one we'll roll to. A eyewitness saw a man in a pickup truck cruising down a road, stopping at every parked car and siphoning off the fuel into a spare tank he carried in the back. The passerby went up to him but said the guy has a gun and ran. Well, we know what happened the last time we responded to a person with a gun, and it didn't go well for us. Let's try and spread them out a bit. Oh, I don't want to get Cecil in on that. Yeah, let's get David Mitchell, and these 2 coppers can go off to drug sales. What do we have? Oh, we have 4 officers available now. An elderly man called in the station in a rage. I went over to the drugstore to buy hearing aid and some pain reliever, and the guy behind the counter tried to sell me cocaine. Well, we can get a couple of coppers on it out here. We'll keep the other 2 there in reserve for any of these 2 calls they may require. Actually, no, we won't. We'll go ahead and assign them to a armed robbery at the Magpie Publishing House. An armed man entered a publishing office, and demanded a copy of a new novel by Roger Ivan Boykov, which had just gone to press. So Cecil and Asano, along with the SWAT team, can go ahead and deal with that. And they were actually pleased with it. Whoa, 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 calm your tits, people. Stop breaking the law. We don't have anyone available, do we? Either, hopefully, some of them are coming home soon, right? Oh no, they're just getting to the scene out here, so the carjacking may not be something we will have time to deal with. Here, we've got even more coming in. Now we have a suspect that's been sighted. He is squatting down next to someone's car in one of our houses in the gas tank. The other end of the house is in the suspect's mouth. Apparently he's trying to siphon fuel. Sneak up close behind him and strike a match to see him better. No. Draw weapons and slowly approach the suspect. Take the hose out of your mouth and put your hands up. Yes, let's do that. He sees the police and quickly pull the gun from his holster. He shoots wildly and misses. Shoot the man. Just immediately drop the motherfucker. Apparently, offender was called, officers unharmed. Well, that's what we want to see. So, we now had drug sales report coming in. Yeah, had hearing problems. Not surprisingly. Hopefully someone will get back. Okay, Jesus Christ. So, an armed robbery call. The man fires his shotgun into the air and yells at the editor, "Better bring me that fucking book right now or you'll be the hero in tomorrow's obituaries." Shoot the criminal with a taser. No. Ask the editor for a second copy of the book. No. You there. Throw down your weapon or you'll be reading all about it in the morgue. Yep. And then we'll just drop him if he does anything stupid. He didn't, so we are all good and happy out there. And now we just got to hope somebody comes back here, which, oh, nope, they won't, but we'll have time to go for the ADW. And now we have officers available for the ADW at the Unicorns of Arcadia Gay Club. During a performance, someone began shouting racist speech at the black singer and then fired several shots from a pistol. The room descended into panic and everyone ran for the exit. Quite surprisingly, they've gone for racism in a gay club. Now, you know, I can accept that. That's fair play. Fair play. I mean, we're not going for the obvious here. We're going for the non-obvious. So they'll go off there and they'll try and get the shooter. And now we have a drink driver call. A passerby reported a dark sedan speeding through the red lights, swerving from side to side. He's got to be drunk or stoned. Just thought you'd want to know. Well, you're correct. Cecil and Asana will go off and try and find them. The carjacking we didn't have time for. We didn't have anyone available, so that's pretty much it. And now we get update on our reports. No new frames found in that. We got a new frame found over there. And what about this? We got a couple more frames here. Let's see. Do we have enough? I don't think so because we are just getting multiple. We need 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But we got 2 doubles, so no, we don't have enough yet. So let's wait with that until we have enough available. And now they're requesting more assistance at the ADW call, but we don't have anyone available. So they just have to deal with it. Did they actually deal with it? No, they escaped, but officers were unharmed. Civilians were killed. A police cruiser caught up with a sedan which is swerving dangerously all over the road. I'm guessing this is relating to the DUI, as it says at the top here. Stop the engine immediately. Follow behind it or run the sedan into the kit. We'll follow behind. The sedan suddenly goes into an underground parking garage. Head up the other way. Tell the attendant to block all exits and follow him. Yeah, that worked. Surprisingly, I suppose. Lots of pharmaceuticals were found in there. Let's ask the mafia to sell it. We need the dosh. And it's the end of quite the eventful day for the Freeburg Police Force over here. Yes, let's declare them dead. We don't really want to hold it on. We just want to hire in replacement. So we need 1 officer for our shift. And we'll go to the funeral at some point. And it's day 65, September the 17th on a Tuesday. Girl sets house fire to watch firefighters. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Nursing home to get cable TV. Rogers is responsible for Freeburg PD breakdown. How often are you going to run with that headline? So what about this? So, City Hall very displeased. Why? I don't get why they're very displeased about us. Birds of a feather flock together. Yep, okay, fine, whatever. Nursing home to get cable TV. Is that relating to this newspaper? Well, technically both have, birds in the thingy over here. So are we supposed to care about that? I don't know. Why are the City Hall so displeased about us? Is it because we keep dying with officers? It's a special day today. Well, let's jump in here first. Nobody asked for any time off today, which was lovely. So we have an assault at the milk factory. Factory worker Vitaly Samusonov quarrelled with the head of the plant and attacked him. Colleagues called the police but are afraid to intervene because Samusonov is strong as an ox. He took us all by surprise. Let's get Hutchison and Bill Bailey at that. They can go out and deal with it. And then we have a disorderly conduct at the dump. About 2 dozen Amish men chased everyone out of the city dump and blocked all access. The Amish community claims that the land belongs to them. Well, go right ahead and live there if you'd like. And as evidence, they're presenting a handwritten document. Eyewitness reports states that they are not behaving very peaceably. Is that even a word? But there are hardly any weapons aside from a few pitchforks. Well, you know, it's the Amish. They're not likely to bring a Stinger missile, are they? Let's get Vandal, Butch, Con, Goodwin, and the paddy wagon out there. And now we can go ahead and look at the mafia. Yep, we got, take everything. Yep, we cannot meet. Why? Why? What have I done to upset you? I sent 2 officers in yesterday. For no reason whatsoever. Apparently, I can't do that. Well, let's hire in a couple of coppers here. Let's get George Goshkolov out here. Apparently, it's a bloody Russian police. Get them in here. So what about these? 250 Mike Quash out here. Yeah, let's get you onto A shift, I suppose. The assault at the milk factory is still ongoing. Vitaly Samsonov is holding the plant manager over a vat of milk. The manager's trying and kicking his feet, and then he wets his pants. Take aim at the perp. Release the hostage immediately. Jesus Christ, don't pee in the milk. Children drink that. Well, we don't care about that, do we? We just want to get the subject in custody, which the 2 coppers did indeed do. And everything worked out fine. The disorderly conduct is requesting more assistance. I mean, it's the Amish. What can they do? So, oh, actually, let's not do that. Let's get Gilbert on it, so we get a couple of the more inexperienced coppers on the case. Off they go, and they can hopefully deal with the incident on their own. We received numerous calls from visitors at the Freeburg Zoo who saw a drunken zoo employee open a cheetah cage, and dangerous cats are running amok and have started to attack people. Let's take that up a notch from just reckless endangerment to animal attack and dispatch the 3 coppers that we have available. The disorderly conduct out here, hopefully we just caught 1 offender. Okay, fine, whatever, they dealt with that, fine, they got a boost. Now we have a noise complaint at the cemetery. Well, I'm guessing it's not one of the residents that called in. The reckless endangerment call was cleared, apparently offender was caught. Now I don't know if that's a zoo employee or if it's a cheetahs. Because if it's the cheetahs, then well bloody done, you need more than just 10 skill points for that. Apparently civilians were unharmed despite the fact that we were told that they were in fact assaulted by the cheetahs. We only have the noise complaint at the cemetery, but we don't have anyone available, so we'll wait just a quick second here. And everyone is available at the cemetery. A caretaker at the cemetery reported strange sounds coming from the crypt. I'm afraid it's the dead finally come back. These are dark days. Well, let's not take this terribly serious. We'll get Bill Bailey with Gilbert and Goodwin. They can go down there and investigate it. We can always send assistance. Now we have an armed robbery at the LifeWire store. A man wearing a ski mask entered the LifeWire store, consumer electronics store, He pulled out a gun and demanded all the money. Just all of it. All of the money. And the most expensive toaster. That's a very specific request. And if there was a list of things that I'd take, along with all of the money from a shop, the best electric toaster, not the one I'd go for. The store security guard was fast on his feet and managed to knock the gun out of the robber's hands, but then he grabbed a sales assistant by the throat, and he's threatening to strangle her unless his demands are met. Well, you know, it's probably going to take longer for him to strangle her than it'll take for my coppers to wrestle him off her. So we'll get Hutchison, and yeah, they can deal with it. I mean, they'll look a bit depressed. Could they not smile? Well, let's get Austin Purvis down there to give them all a bit of a boost while they deal with the call. The units arrived at the armed robbery. The man in a ski mask is in the middle of the shop holding a girl by her throat and yelling at the employees. Calm down, let go of the girl and just leave. Pull a gun on him and make clear he'd better give up, try and sneak up. Let's put him at gunpoint. The man releases the girl and starts to run. Then he enters a room with a bunch of refrigerators and disappears. Yeah, so let's check all the reefers or expand to search the entire store. Come out or else. Oh, we call him. I mean, he could just have run away. But well done, chaps. Lovely stuff. We now have a firefight. Actually, we don't. We have the cemetery call. The door to the vault opens and there's a rustling down in the darkness. Shine a flashlight down there blindly. Yeah, let's be stupid. Let's shine a flashlight down there. 2 homeless men jump out in the darkness. They're carrying a shovel and some jewellery. It seems they don't want to give up the plunder so easily. Hit them with a nightstick. You there. Throw down your shovel or we'll bury you. Use the taser. Hit them with a nightstick. I want to get physical and beat these people. Yeah, feel the stick of justice, people. Yeah, we've got to sell it, don't we? We need the money. So the firefight, a gang stormed the casino and went straight for the utility room. The eyewitness who called the police said he heard gunshots and then the gang member started carrying out some boxes. We'll hold off here, wait for those coppers to return, and then assign everyone to the Rubinovich casino. Everyone arrived back home at the station, so we'll just pick them up down here from one end and just assign them all. We got that, and we got the paddy wagon as well. We'll assign the final 2 coppers to go and deal with a traffic accident over here. The owner of a grocery... just a grocery. There's nothing, no grocery shop or store or market or anything, just a grocery. He just owns one as well, just one piece of stuff you buy in a grocery store. Saw a car drive onto the sidewalk and knock over a girl who was playing with her roller skates. Playing with her roller skates or on her roller skates? That's not quite clear enough. Then the boss stopped and waited a second, then backed over the child again. I've heard that's how the Chinese do it back home, but are we really going to let them... What? I've not heard of this. Well, they can go ahead and investigate that. Now, somebody asked for the bodies, which I do remember, but we don't have anyone available out here. So we have 2 calls just sitting here. Let's check out the vehicular accident. They caught the offender. Oh, lovely and smashing. And now we have the other 2 calls. Did you deal with it? Yes, you did. Luke found automatic weaponry. Let's ask the mafia to sell it. I don't think officers will return home. Well, that one will be back first. I don't know if they'll actually be back for the prostitution, but I suppose the imprisonment is far more important. What is that? That's prostitution. Yeah, that's not as important as the false imprisonment, is it? 2 officers are available at the imprisonment at Debbie's Special Cafe. A man with a strong Spanish accent said that a dozen people are being held against their will in the basement of the cafe. The hostess of the cafe seeks out needy immigrants, gains their trust, and promises mountains of gold, and then imprisons them and makes them work around the clock for stale food. That's what I imagine Spanish-speaking people sound like. According to the man who called, he was one of the slaves, but he managed to escape. The woman also had 5 armed guards who regularly beat up the least productive workers. So let's get Kochi and Powers on it. Do your job, bitches! Oh, come on. You just going to let that slide, you absolute arseholes? Come on. I mean, it's literally just down there by just a millisecond out there, but nope. Apparently not. Police impersonation, well, that's kind of serious anyway. So, Lucifer in the Sky with Illicit's nightclub. That's a long name. How are you going to fit that on a business card? I imagine, club owners have business cards. 4 police officers entered the nightclub and started arresting people for having fun. What is this, the fun police? They bullied the girls, and when the guys got angry, they beat them up and humiliated them. Well, that's not really a crime. One of them put a gun on the patron's mouth and shouted at the others. Another cop knocked out a man's front teeth with the butt of his gun. The club manager has serious doubt that these are even real police officers and suspects that one of his competitors might have crossed them over. Yep. That's kind of important, actually. Let's go and arrest the people who are doing that. Yep. Whatever. Hit and run. No new frames. Drug possession. 2 new frames. And imprisonment. We just didn't have anything. Apparently they killed them. Yeah, but I don't have anyone available. Sorry. The police impersonation call is more serious than we thought, so we are getting Bill Bailey and Austin Powers on the case immediately. I'd like to point out that the clock is stopped at 3 a.m. Presumably that's the longest time you're allowed to go, beyond 1 a.m. So it's just perpetually 3 a.m. now. Welcome to hell, everyone. The police impersonation call was cleared and we caught offenders. Officers were unharmed, civilians were unharmed. Well, apart from the people who got their front teeth knocked out and had guns put in their mouths. But let's go ahead and call this a day right here.
Mr. Boyd, I am Agent Avrahami, and this is Agent Roberts. You'll have to come with us.
What now? Oh.
Please get dressed, Mr. Boyd. We'll wait for you in the car. Mr. Boyd, did you hear what I said?
You know what? You boys can go to hell. I'm not going anywhere. Not right now, at least. You can come down to the police station during regular hours. You can't just come to my house while I'm sleeping, pull me out of bed without any breakfast. Right now, the only place I'm going is back to bed. I'm closing the door now, and if you...
Jack, what's all this? I told everyone what a great sport you are and how fun it would be to play a little joke on you. Where's your sense of humor gone?
Ethan, it's 5 in the morning. At this hour, the only thing that'll get me laughing is one of you feds slipping on a banana peel.
Well, what'd I tell you? He's such a joker.
You're getting old, Ethan.
You're getting fatter, Jack.
And you're getting boring.
And you're getting fired.
Fine. You win.
But you're still a snappy dresser, Jack. As I'm sure you can guess, we've got an assignment here in Freeburg. Come on, let's go. We'll fill you in at the scene. Oh, and I really am glad to see you, Jack. You have no idea. Meet Jack. And this is Agent Suresh, Agent Kumaro, Agent Ellis, and Agent Dixon.
Jeez, how many men did you bring?
11 people on my team, plus 2 heads, but they're still asleep at the hotel. We got to Freeburg a couple hours ago. Actually, I was asked not to communicate with the local police, at least until the press conference, but, well, you're a friend. And by the way, you're lucky you didn't have time for breakfast. Now, the press are calling him the Dentist. Just like every other fucking maniac, he's got his own stupid nickname. We spent 19 years chasing this guy. The MO is always the same. He kills young women in a small town, drops out of sight, and then reappears on the other end of the country with a fresh set of victims. He kills without hesitation, stuns the victim, then strangles her while she's unconscious. And that's when things get fun. He uses a power tool to ream out the dead girl's mouth. For 5 years, we've heard nothing. That's the longest break he's ever taken. Then 6 hours ago, we got a crazy anonymous tip that the dentist was in Freeburg, and he'd already committed his first murder. They even told us the address of the house. Looks like our anonymous tip came from the dentist himself, but that hasn't been verified yet. Oh, Dixon, don't go anywhere. So, Jack, listen. Dixon will take you to the station. You can bring your people up to speed. I'm looking forward to full cooperation, and it would be great if you could bag a criminal like this before you retire. A nice farewell. You know what I'm saying, Jack?
Yeah, a nice farewell.
And Dixon, Mr. Boyd will tell you where to take him. Come on, look alive. You're the police chief's driver today, if that's good enough for you. I'll come around to see you tonight. Buy us some beers, huh? But not that piss you normally drink. That stuff gives me wicked heartburn.
And with that, it's time to end the video. I hope you've enjoyed this little episode of This Is the Police. Goodbye for now.